All right, so today we are diving deep into the human resources manager role.
Okay.
We've got a ton of info to unpack, guides, reports, even some AI tools.
Sounds like fun.
It is. And hopefully we can help our listeners figure out if this is the career path for them.
Yeah, HR, it's not always the most glamorous field, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
But it's definitely essential, and I think people underestimate how much it's evolving.
for sure.
So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide does a nice job of breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
They say HR managers drive organizational success through effective people management, which sounds about right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it, I think.
But it's more than just managing people, isn't it? It's about shaping the whole employee experience.
Absolutely. It's about creating a workplace where people feel, valued and motivated to do their best work.
Exactly. And that's something companies are really focusing on these days, right?
Yeah, definitely. The industry trend reports you shared really highlight that.
Like, attracting and keeping top talent is more competitive than ever.
Right, and it's only going to get more so.
So, HR has a direct impact on a company's success.
Big time.
But the RoleCatcher Guide also keeps it real about the downsides,
Yeah, doesn't sugarcoat anything.
which I appreciate,
Mm.
because no job is perfect, right?
Right.
They mention the potential for high stress, long hours, dealing with tricky situations. It's not for the faint of heart,
It's not. You've got to be able to handle pressure, be flexible.
and probably have a knack for diplomacy, too.
Oh, for sure. You're dealing with people all day, every day, so those interpersonal skills are key.
Sounds like it takes a special kind of person to thrive in this field.
It does, but the rewards can be huge, too.
The guide mentions great earning potential and career growth opportunities.
Yep, there's a lot of room to move up the ladder if you're ambitious.
But it's not a 9-to-5 job, is it?
Not even close. You've got to be
Okay.
passionate about it, dedicated to making a real difference.
That's really what it comes down to, isn't it? It's about more than just a paycheck. It's about having a positive impact on people's work lives.
Exactly. And that's something I really appreciate about the RoleCatcher materials. They really get that.
They do. So for anyone listening who's energized by a fast-paced environment, loves working with people, and wants to make a tangible difference,
Yeah,
HR might be the perfect fit.
it could be. But what does it actually take to be good at it?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
What are we talking about beyond just being good with people?
Well, there's a lot more to it than you might think. And luckily, the RoleCatcher guide dives into those details.
Perfect, because I'm ready to dig in. Okay, so we are going to get into the nitty-gritty here of what it
Yeah.
takes to really excel as an HR manager.
Right?
And I've got the RoleCatcher Guide's Functions and Core Abilities section up here.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one they list is Management of Personnel Resources, which takes up a whopping 64%.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It sounds pretty all-encompassing. What exactly falls under that umbrella?
Well, think of it as like the foundation of HR.
Right.
It's about managing the entire employee journey from the moment they apply for a job to, if they move on to a different opportunity.
So, like from recruitment and hiring to onboarding, training.
Exactly. Training and development, performance reviews, even managing exits gracefully. It's a lot.
It sounds like it. So it's not just about, filling empty desks.
Right. It's about investing in your people, helping them grow and develop their skills.
And creating a positive and productive work environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, that actually ties in directly with another core ability the guide emphasizes,
Or just
critical thinking.
interesting. I'll admit, that's not the first thing that comes to mind when I think of HR.
Right. You might think it's all about people skills and paperwork.
Exactly. But the guide actually lists it as being just as important as monitoring at 59%.
Yeah, and for good reason. HR managers deal with some pretty complex situations.
Give me an example.
Sure, like imagine you're dealing with a sensitive employee relations issue. You've got to be able to listen to all sides, gather information, and make a decision that's fair and aligned with company policy.
That's a lot of pressure.
It can be. Or how about having to implement a company-wide change? You need to think strategically about how to communicate that change effectively.
And minimize any potential disruption.
Precisely. So critical thinking is a must-have in this field.
It sounds like it. So you're not just dealing with people, you're dealing with systems and strategies too.
Exactly. You're always analyzing data, looking for ways to improve processes, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Wow. Okay, so we've got the people skills, the strategic thinking, anything else?
Oh, yeah, there's more.
Of course there is.
Don't forget about negotiation and persuasion. Those are crucial for HR managers, too.
Okay, so give me a real-world scenario where those skills come into play.
Sure. Think about salary negotiations. You're trying to find a compromise between what the employee wants and what the company can offer.
Right, you're kind of like the mediator.
Exactly. Or let's say there's a conflict between team members.
Ooh, that's always fun.
You need to be able to mediate this situation, help them find common ground, and hopefully reach a resolution that works for everyone.
So it's about being diplomatic, finding those win-win solutions.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that these skills, negotiation, persuasion, conflict resolution, they're not limited to just HR.
Mm-hmm.
They're valuable in any career, really.
That's such a good point. I feel like we should have started with that.
Yeah.
Everyone listening is like, wait, I need these skills.
Right.
But let's be real. Landing any job these days, let alone one as multifaceted as an HR role, feels like navigating a minefield.
Tell me about it.
And that's where things get interesting because we are in the age of AI.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And RoleCatcher has developed these really cool AI tools to help job seekers get ahead.
For sure. They're doing some innovative stuff.
Yeah, and that article we saw, Beat the Automated Recruiter, it really highlights how AI is changing the whole hiring game.
Oh, absolutely. Your resume might not even be seen by a real person before an algorithm picks it apart.
See, that's what's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So how does RoleCatcher help with that?
Well, you know how you're browsing job boards and it feels like you're scrolling forever?
Oh, tell me about it.
RoleCatcher. Capture, that browser plugin they talk about.
Yeah, the one from that Streamline Your Job Search article.
Exactly. You can literally save any job posting with one click.
Okay, that's already amazing.
Right. No more like copying and pasting into a million different documents.
Seriously, that alone would save me so much time.
Right. But it gets even cooler.
Oh, there's more. I figured that was it.
RoleCatcher actually takes all those saved jobs, analyzes them alongside your resume,
Okay.
and then suggests the absolute best version of your resume for each specific application.
Wait, it like rewrites it for you?
Well, not exactly rewrites, but it tweaks it.
That's wild. It's like having a personal resume writer.
Right. And it makes sense because AI can pick up on those keywords, the skills, the experience.
That match what the company's looking for.
Exactly. And it helps you present yourself in the best possible light, which is huge in this job market.
That's a total game changer. And speaking of career progression,
Right.
the career stages section in the guide is super interesting.
It is. It lays out a really clear roadmap.
Yeah, it does. Starting with like entry-level roles like HR assistant.
Which is great for anyone just getting started in the field.
Exactly. It gives you a starting point.
And then it shows you how you can move up from coordinator to generalist to manager.
And each step of the way, the responsibilities get more complex, more strategic.
Exactly. You're taking on more responsibility, having a bigger impact.
And then, of course, there's the ultimate goal, senior HR manager.
Shaping the entire employee experience for a company, that's the dream.
It really shows you what's possible in this field.
It does. And, it makes you think, if AI can already do all this, analyze job markets, optimize resumes, what's next?
What's next for the future of work, right?
Exactly. And not just HR, but across all industries. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, a huge thank you to RoleCatcher for giving us so much to think about.
For sure. This was fun.
It was. And to everyone listening, thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you in the next episode.